Hi there, I'm Dr. Usha Kumari, Assistant Professor, Department of English, CHL Government College, Chhara. Today, I'm going to discuss with you the poem written by John Keats, Ode on a Grecian Urn. He is youngest of the Romantic poets. Before we start the poem, I would like to discuss something about this young Romantic poet. He was born on 31st October 1795 at Moorgate, City of London. And in 23rd Feb 1820, he discovered that he is suffering from tuberculosis. And after 1 year of this discovery, he died on 23rd Feb 1821 at Rome, Italy, Papal State. The time he was barely 25 years old. Talking about Grecian urn, we came to know about the fact that in 1819 he composed 6 odes, and only the ode on a Grecian urn was among these 6 odes where he mentioned the date May 1819. Other 5 odes were to Psyche, to Nightingale, on melancholy, to autumn, or on indolence. This poem, Ode on a Grecian Urn, was published in the 15th issue of Annals of Fine Arts. There was a story behind this Ode on a Grecian Urn. Once, John Keats visited the Elgin Marble Museum at London, and there he saw one of the a Greek urn which was named as Grecian urn. There were some pictures depicted on that urn, and when he watched those pictures, some ideas came to his mind, and he composed this poem. So this was the story behind this Grecian urn. And two the most famous lines of this ode are: beauty is truth, truth beauty, that is all ye know on earth and all ye need to know. This ode is divided into 5 stanzas, and each stanza contains 10 lines. These 10 lines are composed in as a mixture of Shakespearean and Petrarchan sonnets. Hence, the rhyme scheme of these stanzas becomes A B, A B, C D E, C D E, or C D E, or D C E, in this manner. So let's discuss the poem. Thou still unravished bride of quietness, thou foster child of silence and slow time, sylvan historian, who canst thou thus express a flowery tale more sweetly than a rhyme? What lip-fringed reason haunts about thy shape, O deities of or mortals, or of both, in temp or the tales of Arcadian? We see that this is the first stanza of this ode, and here we find that the poet saw a beautiful urn having beautiful pictures depicted on it. So he took these pictures as inspiration and composed his first stanza. This first stanza, we see that it is addressed to the ancient urn. He calls the urn like a sexually pure bride of silence. He also calls it the foster child of slow time, and he says that there are some beautiful pictures of natural life depicted on you. Poet calls this urn like uh, like a historian who depicts the history through his words. The urn describing a natural scene more beautifully than the historian. So poet, when after description he raises a series of questions. He asks what story the urn is telling about, with its pictures carved on the leaves. He wonders whether it's human or deities depicted on this picture, or whether they're both. He also wishes to know whether the place of the story is the Greek valley, that is Temp, or some Arcady. It's also possible that the place in the will be the flowery Arcady, a beautiful valley in the Greek. So the question raised by the poet have mystery in them. They also depict the mystery of the urn. And the next stanza, we see that he says, "What men are or gods are these? What maidens loth? What mad pursuit? What struggle to escape? What pipes and timbrels? What wild ecstasy?" In these lines, he says that he keeps the series of questions that who are these men and women? Who are these women's? Why the man following these women's, they pursue these women's? What kind of struggle in between these men and women? What pipes and timbrels? What wild ecstasy? What kind of flutes they are playing? What kind of song they are singing? And what kind of timbrels they are blowing? So we see that he is asking a series of questions like some historian, and then he says that the girls don't like the following of these men. He wants to know who these maidens, who these men are, what kind of mad pursuits is there, why the girls are trying to escape from these people. Then in the next stanza, he says, "Heard melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter. Therefore, ye soft pipes play on, not to the sensual ear, but more endeared pipe to the spirit of deities of not on." In the next stanza, he says that there is a picture of musician on the urn, and he is playing a very beautiful, very sweet, melodious music. This music is more sweeter than the music of real life. He doubts the music, whether it is real or it is imaginary. It charms the ears. Then he saw some figures on the urn. The music has who are playing music, and this music has no sound like the real life music. It appeals our imagination, our soul. So the poem conveys the message of superiority of art over real life, or transience of human life. Then we see the fair youth beneath the trees, thou canst not leave thy song, nor ever can those trees be bare. Bold lover, never canst thou kiss, though winning near the goal, yet do not grieve. She cannot fade, though has not thy blaze. Forever with thou love, and she be fair. There's a picture of handsome young man on the earth. The poet says that this young man cannot leave his song. He will always be singing. He will always be singing beautiful song, melodious song. He will never be tired of singing, because it is in picture. It's not singing in real life. The trees above him will never be leafless. They will never shed their leaves. There's also the picture of lover who is about to kiss his beloved, but he will never win his goal, because he is just a picture on the urn. But there is another positive side of this lover, that he will never be old, and his beloved will always be fair. So he has enough compensation in a way. His beloved will always remain beautiful, and he also not be short-lived. So art is permanent again, and human life is transient, or humans are mortals. A happy, happy bow that cannot shed your lips, nor ever be the spring at you, and happy melodies unwearied, forever piping songs forever. We see that trees will always be happy. They will never saw the autumn season. They will always be spring on them, and the lover will always keep singing. More happy love, forever one and still be enjoyed, forever panting and forever young, old breathing human passion for above, that leaves a heart high, sorrowful and cloyed, a burning forehead and a parching tongue. Poet in the end, at the end of the poem, moving at the end of the poem, he says that the heart depicted, the pictures depicted on this will always be happy. They will never fade. They will always enjoy their life as it is. But human beings have so much sorrow in their life. They are, most of the time they are tensed, and their tongue is not so sweet as these pictures are. Who are these coming to the sacrifice? To what green altar of mysterious praise lead us though, that heap for lowing at the skies, and all our silken flanks with the garlands dress? What little town by river or seashore or mountain built with the peaceful citadel is emptied of this fog, this pious moon? In the next stanza, he says that there is a picture depicting a heifer who is rowing his head, and he was garlanded with flowers, and there are a lot of people who are following him. They are moving in a procession. I think they are going to sacrifice this heifer, and there was a green altar for sacrificial ceremony, and the priest and this heifer leads this procession. The calf is decorated. It is crying, and there was a town near some sea or river, and but it is empty. There is no single man in the village, in this town, to tell us whether old people have gone. So it's that this village is deserted. Nobody is there to tell anybody. Again, the poet captures the moment that art is permanent and human life is transient. Then he says, "Poetic shape, fair attitude, with bread of marble, man and maidens of old, with forest branches and the trodden weed." He again addresses the urn, and calls it a fine specimen of Greek art. He calls it Attic shape, fair attitude, and which is made of marble, beautiful marble. The maidens, the girls depicted on this urn are very beautiful, and there are also picture of the trees and jungles and trodden grasses, and all these are depicted on this urn. This gives the beautiful description of nature. Though silent form does tease us out of thought, as doth eternity cold pastoral, when old age shall this generation waste, those shall remain in midst of the oil, then ours a friend to man, to whom those say beauty is truth. The last we have already discussed these lines. Beauty is truth, truth beauty, that is all ye know on earth and all ye need to know. Then he asked the urn that you are dull, but you are immortal. In the art is the only thing that is immortal, that live forever. It, the marble, the urn tells us the story of its surrounding, natural surroundings, cold and lifeless, but still it tells the story of the uh, passage of time. The urn has our sufferings. Later, when we die, it will tell the story of our suffering to the next generation, and our friends, our future generation, the next will learn about our suffering through this Elgin marble, this urn, And the truth is that reality of life is that beauty is truth. Only the beautiful art, beautiful things, natural art are beautiful, and that is the truth. And in this world, only truth is this beauty of nature. And all people living on this earth need to know this reality. They have to understand that all the beautiful things, all the beautiful objects are truth, and truth is beauty. Thank you, students.